Hello there, my name is Japheth Mast, and welcome to the Make Life Awesome podcast. I'm the Ex-Amish photographer with the funny name and the crazy hair, but trust me, there's a whole lot more to me than just that. In this podcast, I really hope to show you my heart more than what's in my head, because that's where all the really beautiful stuff is. I'm so glad you're here. Let's jump in to learning together what it looks like to make life awesome. Good morning, everyone. Well, I don't know if it's morning as you're listening to this, but right now for me it's morning. It's Sunday morning. Got my coffee in hand. It's a gorgeous day outside. But I do like saying good morning to people at all times of day, to the cashier at the grocery store or just walking down the sidewalk, especially when it's evening. It's just fun. And you know, life is short. Don't be boring. So, I'm going to read a few things. There's a couple proverbs that I want to read and another quote, and then we'll kind of jump into this. But the first one is this. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. Let me read that again. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. And another one, where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. And the last one here, he who keeps instruction is in the way of life, but he who refuses correction goes astray. And now I want to read something I posted on Facebook the other day. Sometimes you grow past your friends, and they refuse to or just simply can't grow with you. Most of the time, it's a wise idea to reduce the amount of access and influence they have in your life at this point. Don't stop loving them, but something needs to change. So, that's a little bit of food for thought for you, but I want to dive into this principle of who you surround yourself with is who you'll become. And like the proverb I just read, he who walks with wise men will be wise. That is so true. I keep finding that out more and more and more, that whoever is in my close friend circle is kind of who I will emulate and who I will even subconsciously become. You know, I find myself taking on aspects and facets of my close friends and mentors. And, you know, this really can't be hit on enough. Because this is my life, this is your life that we're talking about. You know, life is short. We get 70, 80, 90 years on this earth, and then it's done. Obviously, there's a place after this life is over, but talking about just this temporary life, it's very short. And so I believe that all life is valuable. I believe that every single human's life is so valuable, and the idea of wasting it just scares me, honestly. And so that's where this comes in, this thing of finding good people and just doing life with them. And I'm talking about deep bonded friendship, not just acquaintance relationships. I'm not talking about, hey man, how's it going? How's the family? How's the kids? Of course we need those too, but what I'm referencing is a close circle of friends. I forget who says it. Maybe Zig Ziglar. I'm not sure, but I think it's John Maxwell. You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's paraphrased, but I think we've all heard that, and it's so true. Looking at the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Who are those people? And then ask yourself the question of, are they making me a better person? Are they challenging me to grow and to become healthier and more whole? Or are they not healthy? Are they dragging me down? Are they hurting me? Are they people with no vision for my life? Because you will take on the attributes and the characteristics of the people that you spend time with. It's just this thing of like osmosis almost. So if I'm hanging around with people that are only living for the present, for a party lifestyle, and then I'm gonna start taking that on because I want to belong, I want to have friends, and I want to, be in relationships. So I'll start taking that on, and it's almost this unconscious thing. So one thing that we need to do is to be really focused and intentional about who we allow access and influence into our lives. To just chase after it, to run after it, because that's not to be messed with. We need to run after friends that will make us better, and that we make them better as well. It's this thing of iron sharpening iron. One man making the other a better, just more well-rounded person. And he who walks with wise men will be wise. So my question today is, do you want to be wise? Then look at your friend circle. Are you hanging out with wise people? And this is more of a metaphor. Like, surround yourself with people that you want to become like. I always want people in my life to challenge me, to make me better. And like that other proverb that I read about, he who keeps instruction is in the way of life, but he who refuses correction goes astray. The thing of having accountability and like us being submitted to leaders and to our friends that we can trust, and allow them to give feedback and input into our life and to affect us, which means we have to be vulnerable and open our hearts to them. They get to affect us and correct us and instruct us. Obviously, we use wisdom as to who we allow to be in that spot, and even wisdom, with the different pieces of feedback. But the bottom line is we need people in our lives who have a say, who get to say yes or no to the big decisions or even the small decisions in our lives. Because where there's no counsel, you will fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there's safety. And to unpack that a little bit, maybe this idea of counselors, that's it's your best friend, that's your mentor, that's maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a brother or sister, but it's like it's this idea of a counselor, of a mentor, a guide, someone that you are doing life with, that you are vulnerable with, that you're sharing your heart, your process, your decision making with, and you're allowing them to speak into it and to affect you and to guide your decisions and to change your mind if need be, and just give wisdom, to give wisdom and counsel where that is needed. That's such a that goes totally against the grain of what I'm seeing a lot in culture, where it's people, don't tell me what to do. I'm my own person. Whatever. Where it's really like abrasive. It's really anti-feedback, anti-criticism. This culture of everyone's so easily offended. It's ridiculous, completely ridiculous. Because people have kind of made themselves their own gods, and they're trying to self-protect, and they don't want to be hurt, and so they get people in their lives that'll just say yes, that agree with everything that they believe, and then watch a couple years later they blow up a marriage or go kill someone, and you're like, you wonder why that happened, but it's because they started doing their own thing. They chose to say no to letting people into their lives, and the little decisions like that, the day-to-day decisions like that, lead to falls, to death. Honestly, like that's more of a metaphor, but in some cases it could be like that. And so one thing I would say is, offense reveals the heart. Anytime I'm offended, it reveals an area inside of me that that just needs to be loved, and it needs some healing. And it's and I can tell you, there's close friends of mine that really trigger me. They offend me almost daily, and so it's kind of like I have to look at my heart and go, okay, what is this? And then I'll bring it up to those people. I bring it up to that friend, like, hey man, when you did this thing, it kind of pissed me off. And then, working through that, communicating, doing that in a relationship, and kind of finding healing through that. But this culture of being offended at everything is so ridiculous. And this thing of like needing everyone to agree with us is pointless. It doesn't get anything done. I don't need to agree with everything that my friends believe, and we can still be great friends. In fact, I would be scared if my friends thought just like me, if my mentors thought just like me, because that would mean no growth, and that would no diversity. So, whew, that was good. That was a good word, Japheth. He who surrounds himself with wise men will himself be wise. So, what do you want? What do you want? That's the question today. What do you want? And then once you discover that, find people in your community that have that thing that you want, and ask them if you can spend time with them, if you can buy them dinner or lunch or coffee, and just go spend time with them and pursue them. If there's someone that you really resonate with and that you connect with, ask them to go to a second one. It's kind of like dating, but you pursue, and even when you get no's or I'm too busy, if there's someone that you really feel if it's a person that you really feel has something that you need, something that you want, keep pursuing them. Pursue them. On the episode I had with Brandon Walden, I believe it was episode 6, he talks a lot about this, about, pursue people that scare you, pursue people that you want to be like, and don't give up. So that's my encouragement to you today, and I want to take another sip of my coffee. Put yourself in situations, in environments that foster what you want to go after. If you want to be a filmmaker in Hollywood, go, find something local that fosters that. Find a studio space or a school or something that fosters that, and has people there that can guide you and to where your desire is, to where your dreams are. Yeah, but really, I can say the most impacting moments in my life have come because of the people in my life, not necessarily because of an opportunity or some event that happened, but it's because of the people that I've fought for, that I've gone after, and that have pursued me as well. That's where the really good stuff is. It requires vulnerability, transparency, the opening of my heart to saying hey man, I don't have it all together. I feel insecure in this area. Can you help me? Do you have any advice? It's that thing where it requires the walls to be let down and, the heart to be opened. So yeah, ask yourself, what, do I have any walls that are up, that are keeping out people that like me, that want to love me? Am I pushing people away from my life? Am I pushing wise counsel away from me? Am I seeking that? Am I actively seeking people who will speak the truth into my life in love? Yeah, and it doesn't always feel good, when you get corrected, when you get hey man, that thing you did, don't do that again. That hurt someone. That's not fun at all. It's sucky, but that's how we grow and become better and more whole and more healthy people. And we can continue building incredible, awesome lives that really matter and make a difference and change the world. Because life is short. We only get to be here for a short amount of time, so why waste it hiding? Why waste it doing our own thing? And the worst thing is getting to the top of the mountain and realizing that you're the only one there. Andrew Erickson talked about that on the previous episode. But yeah, I don't want to reach the top and be alone. I don't want to be like a lot of famous actors and singers that are making millions of dollars but live in a big empty mansion, completely lonely, completely heartbroken. I don't want to do that. I want to do it with family. Because family, that's where the real good stuff is at. So yeah, I think that's all for today. If you enjoyed this episode, take a screenshot of it and share it to Instagram stories. Tag me, and so I can see. But appreciate the love, appreciate you following along. So if you want some practical homework for this week, find one person in your circle, in your community that you admire. Maybe it's someone you've had an eye on for a while. You just think, oh, they're so cool. I love what they do. Love who they are. Love their families. Whatever that is. And ask them to coffee. Ask them if you can buy them coffee and just ask them some questions about life. So there you go. That's your homework. Message me, email me, and let me know how that goes. But I love you guys. Have a great week. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the podcast today. I would love if you would leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcasting platform, as it really does help the show out. You can find me on Instagram at Japheth Mast, that's spelled JaphethMast, or my website, japhethmast.com. Have an amazing week, and don't forget, make life awesome.